Okay, welcome back again. I'm trying to knock all of these sessions out at once so that I won't get busy and then don't ever come back to it, which, can easily happen. So I'm trying to attack it while it's on my mind. So I have two more areas to go, which is 9 and 10. 9 is help, assistance, resources, and then 10 is time. And that will close out this session, okay? I believe in 1 through 10. I don't know why, but even my chapters in my book are reflected 1 through 10. So it should be very insightful, and hopefully it should help with everything. As of with this session 9 of the Visionary Outlooks of the Hushwife, it's about help, assistance, and resources. I can't explain how disappointed I am. Yeah. And I'm not saying that because I'm out of blame or anger towards the facilities and etc. But I just think about the priority of things. Like, I think if I was like an angry black woman or rageous, I would get a lot more done and conquered, fitting my stereotype, versus being a professional. Like, going to the place like, this is what happened, I need assistance with this is what's going on. And they're like, oh, okay, well, that's going to take da-da-da-da, and we'll call you. And so you find yourself walking out of places like, why do you exist? Or, example, even going to go pray about something. When you go to certain places or facility and you go to receive prayer, you're not asking for a handout. You're not asking for money or a place to stay or anything like that. You're like, hey, I need someone to really constructively pray with me. You expect if you go to a church, you should be able to get prayer for free. Like, you shouldn't have to wait until someone's available, or you should be told to come back, because something can happen to that person in between that time. You telling them to come back. They're asking for prayer. They're coming to you asking for prayer. That's a huge thing. It should be free, and it's as powerful as it is. It shouldn't be hard to deliver. Like, anybody you come across should be able to pray for you. If you go to any type of church or entity of that form, they should be able to stop right there and help you. Be like, you know what? Since you are a child of God, I'm a child of God too. Let's see what's going on. That's how I see it. That's how it should be done. It's not that hard, not that complicated. You're not giving out any money, not too much of effort. It's your heart, Resources, gosh. Now, let me go this angle. So, I think I mentioned in like 1 or 2 or 3 about how I've gone to therapy. I went to this lady because I started going through this thing, and I only been to her twice. But the first time I went to her, I was trying to decide on actually getting their dad arrested or not, because I was like, okay, I don't want to damage his image. I don't want to damage who he is. I don't want to damage his credentials. And I mean, I don't know why I was just thinking so big-hearted, to the point where, okay, Star, this is not about him and everything he's worked towards, but I was looking at them, the kids, looking at him as a solid father, still looking at him as a solid father figure. And so through all of that, I went to counseling about it, because I'm like, he's doing these things, he's following, he's doing these things, he's poking me, he's asking for these things, he's emailing me, he's texting me, about certain things, and he's not doing certain things I need him to do. So what do I do at this point? I'm at a breaking point where I don't know how to make the right decision on how to handle him. And so out of her own mouth, and out of a few people like my best friend I have talked to, and just concrete individuals, I'm like, okay, should I report him? Should I do these things? because, I'm trying to make the right decisions, but I don't want to damage this person in between. I don't want to damage the statistics. I don't want to damage this person when I should care, but I shouldn't even care about that part of it. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I went to the therapist. She guided me. She's like, look, you got to do what you got to do to protect you and your kids. I was like, you're right. Thank you. That's all I was really grounded it for, because I was so afraid. I just needed more clarity or more direction to help me make the right choice for protection, which I did. It didn't matter. I went through roller courts and all this other stuff and all that crap, and he bypassed it with his charm and his manipulative way to answer. So I'm still left with a failed system and a license to carry at the end of the day of that. But that can go other ways, considering the situations. So outside of that, as of resources like shelters and safe houses and stuff like that, I have never been like the person to really call those places, but I have before, and always like, oh, you just need to develop a safe exit plan, and like I said in the beginning, I'm sorry to hear that you're going through all of this, but you should call these people instead. It's like, what is your purpose of being in existence if you can't help me now? I'm calling you right now. It took a lot to call you. It took a lot for me to show up here, and I have to wait these days, or I have to wait until someone calls me back, or I have to wait until he's served, and I have to wait to court. I have to wait all this time, which is what 10 is about. But you get you're in a washing machine. It's literally the washing machine. You're spinning around in a circle, and you left wet. Literally, like you just left. It's like you're not even dried. You're halfway through the cycle, or in a piece of it, or you just left there. And so, like in that gray and that red zone area, you're just sitting there because you're like, I don't know what to do next. Do I give up? So it's just the help and assistance and the resources aren't what we need them to be, even though some of them exist and they do partially help, and they may be step-by-step processes, but as of dealing with the now, it's extremely hard to do, and you have to change so much when you're inside of the nows, that we need more active planning, more active planning that can really assist with what is really going on in that household, to help prevent. And so that's why with the help, assistance, resources, I'm really looking to develop some type of mechanism where you have a true safe house, a true safe outlook, a true safe structure to go to get grounded, to regroup, because that's what it takes. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of faith, a lot of control, and confidence, and just overall, it takes a lot to be here, to get here. It takes so much to say, okay, I could talk about this now. I can do this now. Oh, there go my feet. I can stand up now. It takes so much. So when you have resources or entities that you are thinking you have there to go to spill out all this information, when it's just another story to them, and sometimes it just isn't good enough, and it's really not, and you're stuck. So you really have to find your way out of that box, find the light yourself. It's not going to show up to you. So I say all of this to say, don't just lean on those programs or those help and assistance and resources. You really need to stand up on your own and really make some decisions and try and be wise about it, So as I get my stuff structured to help individuals more, I hope that this outlook on assistance resources and getting the help that you think you may need is insightful. Because the second time I went to the therapist, I really went to her broken. Now this time I really need assistance because I was being stalked. The courts didn't do anything. I mean, I was like, what is the whole purpose? I mean, I don't want to have to shoot this man if I'm out of fear somewhere. I mean, I really was at this point of where I am. I've learned how to deal with it now. But before this moment, I was like, when all this was going on, when I was like in the what happens to them stage and the what now, why me, no hate, am I the victim, God is, and the children, it's just like all of that was just hitting me. So when I went and talked to her, she's like, Star, you have a lot of strength and you have the right to feel how you're feeling. And what you're going through is post-traumatic stress, something else, and depression, forms of depression, and all that other stuff. And I was like, whoa, okay, I'm not going crazy. I'm really getting to a point where this line is so thin. Like, I'm doing the right things to get this handled in the correct way, and it just keeps failing on me. It's like it leaves me in the same place, and it's just like, what now? And it's like, oh, well, you have another court date in August, and then you have another court date in September. It's like, are you kidding me? So I said all this to say that, like I mentioned a second ago, find your feet, find your mind, know where you are in your heart, and don't get lost in it, regardless of what's going on. And know that some resources are out there. If you need to talk them out. But I know you get tired of talking sometimes. If you are anywhere like strong-minded like I am, where I do care about who I am, how I'm represented, and all that type of stuff, these types of things will affect you expressing yourself. It's like, I'm going to tell you a piece of it. I'm not going to tell you everything, because you're going to be like, I can't believe you allowed that to happen. I can't believe you allowed this to exist. Especially you being who you are. But no one is here to judge you and all that type of stuff. But at the same time, I have my reasons. And, you have to get to understand that you're not here to try and convince everyone. You're here recognizing what's wrong, and you're speaking out on it, and you're going forward with it. That's it. And you have to do what you got to do to survive, because this is survival. And a lot of people don't get back to their real regular mental states in it, and it has a lot to do with forgiveness. It has a lot to do with you finding your feet. You could find one foot and hop around and live off of that, but it's about finding both of your feet so that you can eventually live again and have peace. It's hard to find peace. I'm not all the way in my peace, and sleeping at night isn't all that great because I'm still in the midst of it, but it's possible. All right, so I'm ending that segment on 9. I'm going to try and find some resources out there that are national and international, maybe in future, to help with these types of things related to domestic violence that may be resourceful. Okay, thank you, and I'll be coming right back with 10. Peace. Star.